Have you ever met someone who seems to read people without trying? They don't ask a lot of questions. They don't show off. But somehow they understand what others are thinking, feeling, or hiding. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's a set of quiet tools, and Sigma males use them every day. Sigma males are known for being calm, private, and independent. But one of their hidden skills is how they observe. While everyone else is talking, they're watching. While others are trying to impress, they're studying reactions. Over time, they get good, really good, at reading people without saying much at all. What makes this ability so powerful is how natural it feels. Sigma males aren't loud about what they see. They don't announce it. They just understand it. And that understanding gives them an edge. They can walk into a room and know who's being fake, who's holding back, and who's trying too hard. They can pick up on fear, lies, confidence, or even attraction, all by paying attention in ways most people miss. This isn't something you learn overnight. These tricks are built over time, usually through years of solitude, observation, and trial and error. And because Sigma males live outside the social spotlight, they're not distracted by popularity or performance. They focus on what's real, the unspoken part of human behavior. Some people call it intuition. Some call it being emotionally intelligent. But in the Sigma world, it's more like a set of silent tools, mental tricks that help them see beneath the surface. These tricks aren't about controlling others. They're about understanding people better, faster, and more clearly than most. And here's the wild part. They work almost anywhere. Whether it's work, relationships, or even quick conversations with strangers, these tricks help Sigma males figure out who they're dealing with and what's really going on. That's what makes them so hard to fool. That's why they rarely get caught off guard. In this video, you're going to see the 6 shocking mind tricks Sigma males use to read anyone. You won't hear about these in most places because they don't look flashy. They happen in silence, in observation, in timing. But once you understand them, you'll never see people the same way again. Let's look at the first trick and how it works without a single word being spoken. Trick number 1, mirroring micro-expressions. Most people watch what someone says. Sigma males watch what someone shows, and most of it happens on the face. Not the big facial expressions like smiling or frowning, but the tiny flashes most people miss. These are called micro-expressions, and Sigma males train themselves to notice them. A micro-expression is a quick facial reaction that lasts less than a second. It's so fast that most people don't even see it. But it's real. And it usually shows what someone is really feeling before they have time to hide it. Anger, fear, sadness, excitement, it all shows up for a split second. Sigma males know this, and they learn to watch for it. When someone is pretending to be fine, but their eyes show worry for half a second, that tells the Sigma everything. If someone is acting confident, but their mouth twitches with fear, the Sigma sees it. These small signs don't lie, but here's the real trick. Sigma males don't just see these expressions. They mirror them. This means they subtly reflect the same emotion back, not in an obvious way, but just enough to make the other person feel seen. And when someone feels seen, they open up more. This mirroring builds quick trust. It's not about tricking someone. It's about creating a connection without words. When people feel understood, even at a gut level, they drop their guard. They stop performing. And that's when Sigma males get to see the real version of the person in front of them. Most people miss these cues. They're too busy thinking about what to say next. But Sigma males are different. They're patient, they're quiet, and they watch closely. That stillness gives them space to pick up on things others ignore. A raised eyebrow, a flash of disgust, a tiny smirk. These all carry meaning. Over time, Sigma males get better at this. It becomes second nature. They can sit in a room, say almost nothing, and still leave knowing who's being honest and who's hiding something. This ability gives them an advantage in any kind of interaction, from job interviews to first dates. And because they mirror these expressions so subtly, people don't even notice it's happening. They just feel strangely comfortable around the Sigma. They feel like he gets them. But what's really happening is a game of emotional reflection, picked up in less than a second. This mind trick works especially well in high stress or emotional moments. That's when people try the hardest to hide how they feel, and when their micro-expressions become the loudest. Sigma males know that under pressure, truth leaks out through the face. They don't push, they just observe. It's not magic, it's awareness. And the more you watch people's faces, really watch, the better you'll get. That's how Sigma males use micro-expressions to read people without saying a word. Trick number 2, strategic silence. One of the most powerful tricks Sigma males use isn't something they say. It's what they don't say. They know that silence makes people uncomfortable. And in that discomfort, people often reveal more than they should. Sigma males use this silence on purpose. In most conversations, silence feels awkward, so people rush to fill it. They talk more. They explain themselves. Sometimes they even confess things just to break the tension. Sigma males understand this. They let the silence hang. They let the moment stretch, just long enough for the other person to give something away. This kind of silence is different from ignoring someone. It's focused. It's intentional. The Sigma isn't zoning out. He's watching. He's waiting. He knows that the longer someone talks, the more their real thoughts start to leak out. Let's say someone is hiding something. They give a short answer, hoping to move on. The Sigma doesn't respond. He just holds eye contact and waits. That silence forces the other person to keep talking. And the more they talk, the more their truth comes out. This trick works in both serious and casual settings. In an argument, silence makes the other person rethink what they said. In a friendly chat, it makes people open up more than they planned, because most people don't handle quiet moments well. But the Sigma does. This isn't about making others feel bad. It's about creating space. Most people are never really listened to. They're interrupted, rushed, judged. When a Sigma male stays quiet and listens, it makes others feel heard, and they respond by opening up. Sometimes the silence itself is the question. Instead of asking, "Are you sure?" the Sigma just stays silent after a weak answer. That pause makes people rethink their own words. They start explaining more, revealing more without ever being pushed. This kind of silence also builds control. It makes the Sigma look calm, confident, and in charge. He doesn't chase conversation. He lets it come to him. And when people feel that calm pressure, they naturally respond to it. The trick is not to overdo it. The silence has to feel natural. Forced silence becomes strange, but the Sigma knows how to balance it. Just enough pause to pull truth to the surface. Over time, this makes him someone people trust. They feel safe talking to him. They feel like he understands things others don't. But really, he's just giving them space and letting silence do the work. Trick number 3, redirected questions. Most people ask questions directly. They want fast answers. But Sigma males take a different route. They use redirected questions, ones that sound simple but go deeper. These questions aren't meant to trap anyone. They're designed to open people up without pressure. Here's how it works. Instead of asking, "Are you lying?" a Sigma might ask, "Why do you think people lie in situations like this?" The shift is small, but it changes everything. The second question doesn't put someone on the spot. It gives them space to speak, and in that space the truth comes out. Sigma males use this method because people get defensive when they feel challenged. If you ask someone straight up, "What are you hiding?" they shut down. But if you ask something that feels like a general idea, like, "Do you think people ever keep secrets to protect others?" they'll talk more freely. And in that moment they often reveal what they really think. This kind of question works because it lowers the wall. The person answering doesn't feel attacked. They don't feel accused, so their brain doesn't go into defense mode. Instead, they think, and they speak. And most of the time, they say more than they planned. Sigma males use this to read people in a subtle way. They're not digging aggressively. They're guiding the conversation just enough to hear what matters. A single redirected question can expose someone's fear, goal, or motive, all without causing conflict. It's also helpful in group settings. If someone is dominating the conversation or trying to impress, a Sigma can shift the dynamic by asking a calm, thoughtful question that changes the pace. It cuts through noise without creating drama. Over time, this habit becomes natural. Sigma males don't just talk to pass time. Every question has a purpose. They might ask, "What kind of person do you think gets misunderstood the most?" It sounds innocent, but the answer says a lot about the speaker's own insecurities or beliefs. This trick also shows how much control a Sigma has in conversation. While others are reacting, he's shaping the flow. He's not loud. He's not forcing anyone to open up. He's just setting up moments where the truth has space to appear. Wannabes often miss this. They push for answers. They interrupt. They chase control. But Sigma males know that the real information comes when people feel safe, and redirection makes that safety possible. So next time you're in a tough or strange conversation, try shifting the question. Make it broad. Make it thoughtful. Watch what happens. That's what Sigma males do, and it's one of their most effective tricks for reading people fast. Trick number 4. Energy matching. Everyone gives off a kind of energy: calm, nervous, excited, angry. Most people either ignore it or react to it without thinking. But Sigma males do something different. They match energy on purpose, not to copy someone, but to create trust. That's the trick, energy matching. This isn't about faking a personality. It's about syncing up in the moment. When someone is anxious, Sigma males lower their own energy to balance the room. When someone is intense, they might slightly raise their own tone or pace to keep connection. It's subtle, and it works. Matching someone's energy helps break walls. It makes the other person feel safe, seen, and understood. Even if they don't realize it, people tend to trust those who feel familiar, and energy plays a big part in that feeling. For example, if someone is talking fast, loud, and full of emotion, and the Sigma responds slowly and quietly, it might feel like a mismatch. The connection struggles. But if the Sigma slightly adjusts, just enough to meet that rhythm, the trust builds faster. It's not about losing control. Sigma males still lead the interaction, but they do it in a way that makes the other person feel comfortable. And once comfort is in place, people reveal more. They talk longer. They drop their guard. You'll also see this in more serious moments. If someone is angry or defensive, most people get tense or angry back. But a Sigma does the opposite. He softens his voice. He lowers his body language. This diffuses the situation. And in that calmer space, truth has room to come out. Energy matching also helps Sigma males blend in when they want to. They're not trying to stand out. They're trying to understand. And by matching the room's energy, they gain access. People stop seeing them as outsiders and start talking to them more naturally. Over time, this builds a powerful ability. Sigma males can walk into almost any situation and make others feel at ease. Not because they're charming, but because they're attuned. That attention to energy makes others talk more freely, and that gives the Sigma more to read. This trick is especially useful in high-stakes settings, like job interviews, business deals, or new relationships. Matching energy helps guide the rhythm of the conversation. It shows control without being controlling. The key is balance. Sigma males don't lose themselves in the other person's mood. They stay grounded. They just shift enough to stay connected. And that's the real power. It's not copying. It's syncing. And once that connection is built, the Sigma can start to lead, gently, calmly, and people follow. Because it feels natural. That's the effect of this trick. It opens the door to real insight. Trick number 5. Pattern framing. One of the most underrated tricks Sigma males use is pattern framing. It's not flashy. It's not obvious. But it's powerful. This trick helps them spot lies, truth, habits, and motives, all by watching how someone speaks over time. Pattern framing means listening for repetition. It's about noticing the phrases, values, or themes someone repeats. Sigma males aren't just listening to one sentence. They're comparing it to everything else that's been said. Let's say someone keeps saying, "I hate drama," but their stories always involve conflict. That's a pattern. Or maybe someone says they value honesty, but keeps avoiding clear answers. That's another pattern. Sigma males notice these things, and they use that info to understand who they're really dealing with. It's not about catching people in a trap. It's about learning what's real. Words are easy to say, but consistency is hard to fake. Sigma males don't just hear what you say. They compare it to what you said earlier. That's where patterns live. They also use this trick to spot emotional shifts. If someone usually speaks calmly but suddenly rushes through a topic, that's a clue. If someone avoids a word they used before, that's another clue. These changes don't always mean lies, but they mean something changed. And Sigma males notice. Pattern framing works in conversations, interviews, even text messages. Sigma males remember details. They file them away. Then, when something feels off, they go back mentally and check. Does this match what they said before? If not, they ask why, even if they don't say it out loud. This trick helps Sigma males avoid fake people. It protects them from being manipulated, because anyone can act real for a few minutes. But keeping a pattern takes real consistency. That's where most people slip, and that's where the Sigma learns the truth. They also use this skill on themselves. They check their own words and habits. If something doesn't line up, they adjust. That's why they grow fast. They're not just watching others. They're always tracking their own progress too. Wannabes don't do this. They listen only for the surface. They want the quick read. But Sigma males play the long game. They gather data. They track behavior. And over time, they know more than anyone else in the room without ever raising their voice. Pattern framing doesn't take a special skill. It takes attention. It takes memory. And it takes patience. But once you use it, you'll never hear people the same way again. Trick number 6. Future probing statements. Sigma males use a mental trick that feels almost psychic. It's called a future probing statement. It's not really a question. It's a way of speaking that predicts a future action or outcome, just to see how someone reacts. The reaction gives away more than the words ever could. Here's how it works. Instead of asking someone, "Are you going to lie to me?" a Sigma male might say, "So when you tell the truth about this later, it'll probably feel like a relief." That line does two things. First, it assumes the person will tell the truth. Second, it watches what happens next. Body language, hesitation, tone. That reaction reveals what the person is really thinking. This trick works because people react strongly when they feel someone just skipped a step. It catches them off guard. If they're guilty, their body might tense up. If they're nervous, they might stutter. If they're confident, they'll agree without hesitation. Sigma males don't need to analyze every word. They just watch the reaction to the future tense. These statements are powerful because they act like emotional pressure points. You're not accusing. You're not confronting. You're just stating something like it's already going to happen. That flips the script. Most people aren't prepared for it. Here's another example. Instead of asking someone if they'll show up to a meeting, the Sigma might say, "When you walk in tomorrow, people will probably look to you first." It sounds casual, but it tests commitment and confidence. If the person hesitates, laughs awkwardly, or walks it back, that tells the Sigma everything. These statements work especially well when Sigma males want to test honesty, intention, or confidence. They're subtle. They sound neutral, but they apply just enough pressure to see what's underneath. You can use this in all kinds of situations: dating, work, negotiation. If you say, "When you make your decision later tonight, just think about how much this means to you," you're not demanding anything. You're just setting a tone and watching what happens. Sigma males don't overuse this trick. If they do, it feels fake. But used sparingly, it's like turning on a light in a dark room. You can suddenly see who's sure of themselves and who's hiding something. The real value here is how people reveal themselves when their future actions are predicted. If someone's lying, they usually can't fake confidence about what happens next. Their fear leaks through. Their delay gives them away. Their change in tone becomes clear. Sigma males pick up on all of that. They don't say much. They don't press hard. They just speak with calm certainty and then let the reaction speak louder than any answer. It's not magic. It's pressure mixed with timing. And it works. Now you know the mind tricks Sigma males use to read people. They're not guessing. They're not playing games. They're watching, listening, and thinking in ways that most people overlook. They see micro-expressions. They use silence to their advantage. They ask questions in ways that drop defenses. They adjust their energy to connect. They frame patterns over time. And they test the future to see the truth in the present. These tricks aren't about control, they're about clarity. They help Sigma males avoid fake people, spot real ones, and stay ahead without making noise. That's why they move through life with quiet confidence. They don't react fast. They respond smart. Anyone can learn these skills, but it takes patience. It takes stillness. It takes the ability to pay attention when others don't. That's where Sigma males thrive, in the quiet space where real things are revealed. Which of these mind tricks surprised you the most? Have you seen them used in real life, or maybe used one yourself? Let us know what clicked. And remember, the strongest minds aren't always the loudest. They're the ones that know what to look for.